All right, y'all, what's going down with it, man? AEW All Out 2025 preview and predictions. Now, these are not the only matches that are taking place on this show. There are obviously a couple more matches that will be taking place on this show. They just couldn't fit them all in one picture here. It's ironic. AEW All Out 2025 is taking place next Saturday, September 20th in Toronto, Canada. Ironically, the very same day as WWE WrestlePalooza. Now, they had decided to move it to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, so I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. It's good for us wrestling fans. That way we won't have to watch WrestlePalooza and All Out at the same time. We can just watch AEW All Out first and then immediately switch over to WrestlePalooza, which should be on by the time All Out comes to a close. But knowing how these AEW shows are like 5-6 hours long, I don't know. All right, so we got Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR. This is definitely one of the big matches taking place on the show. Definitely one of the big marquee matches. Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, Edge and Christians, we used to call them, coming back to take on FTR. I know FTR and this match, man, should be very good. I think this is gonna be definitely one of the better big talked about matches we talk about coming out of this show. I do think Adam Copeland and Christian Cage will get the win. Now, I don't know if this is going to officially end their feud with FTR. I'm assuming they'll probably wrestle two more times. Maybe FTR gets the win the second time and then they face off one last time. But as far as this goes, you got to give it to the hometown boys. I mean, Copeland, Christian, like, I just see them winning it against FTR. So yeah, I got them going up with the W. All right, you got the Hurt Syndicate. They're taking on Ricochet and GOP, the Gates of Agony, in a trios match, man. So we got a tag team trios match player. And truth be told, I do think the Hurt Syndicate will win. We all know the Hurt Syndicate's motto. We all know their stance. They hurt people, and I think that's exactly what they're gonna do to Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. Nothing really more I can really say about that. Should be a nice little trios match for the most part. Mercedes Moné is taking on Rio for the AEW TBS Championship. Now, you all know Mercedes Moné, she's been winning championships after championships after championships. I think she's on her 9th championship right now. At some point, you have to ask yourself, who is going to be the one to beat Mercedes Moné? Who the hell is going to be the one to take these titles from her? And I don't know about all of you, but I feel like something tells me, and I may be wrong, but something tells me that Rio will be the one, that she will be the one to dethrone Mercedes Moné and beat her for the TBS Championship, because I feel like once Mercedes Moné loses that title, she is going to start this downward spiral of going insane and a losing streak and losing all these championships she done gained. That belt collector is coming to an end, and I think it's going to start at All Out with Rio getting the win. Should be a fun little match. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. I got Darby Allin getting the win. I feel like this is where Darby finally beats Jon Moxley. Finally puts their feud to rest. This has been going on for quite some time now. Jon Moxley put Darby Allin on the shelf. Darby Allin wants to put Jon Moxley on the shelf. What better way to do it is by putting his ass in a coffin. And that is exactly what Darby Allin is going to do. This is going to be you already know this match going to get extreme. You already know they're going to be doing some crazy shit. But I do think that Darby Allin will get the win and will officially put Jon Moxley on the back burner and, probably move on to some championships for Darby Allin. We'll see. We got MGF. We got Mark Briscoe in a thumbtacks and tables match. So you already know this match going to be just as crazy. I got Mark Briscoe picking up the win. Just something tells me like Mark Briscoe is just going to beat MJF. And just a nice little win, I think, for Mark Briscoe. This feud between him and MJF, I know a lot of people's been loving it. A lot of people has been enjoying it. Like, you know it's crazy. You know you hate a man when you have to end your honeymoon. Like, MJF probably didn't even consecrate his marriage with his girl because freaking Mark Briscoe. And I ain't gonna lie to you, if that was my girl, I would have been pissed too. If she had to end our honeymoon just to fight another chick, I would have been pissed too. I would have been livid. So I know how MJF is feeling and his wife is feeling, man. Like, that is crazy. But hey, she should be able to enjoy it after Mark Briscoe beats him. It's gonna be a little painful, but I think MJF is still gonna have a good time regardless. And this should be again a nice little match. This whole pay-per-view of itself should be pretty good. Like, you got Tony Storm, you got Jamie Hayter, you got Chris Statlander, and you got Thika Della. I mispronounced her name. I apologize. Four-way match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Very fun, very exciting. I do think that Tony Storm will retain, but but I think these women are gonna show up, and I think these women are gonna show out, and there's really nothing more to it. But I do think that Timeless Tony Storm will retain her championship. Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher. And thank for the love of God, Don Callis family is banned from ringside. I think that also includes Don Callis, so we don't have to hear his little favoritism bias ass on commentary trying to get involved. Um, Look, man, I'll say this about Kyle Fletcher. The dude is on track to becoming one of the future stars of AEW. Kyle Fletcher is 26 years old, and granted, we all don't like Don Callis, but I think one thing that we can agree on that Kyle Fletcher being paired up with Don Callis, turning his back on his United Empire frontman, Will Ospreay, it did wonders for his career. Shaving his beard, the dude, got a lot stronger. He put on some muscle. Like, this is probably the best version of Kyle Fletcher right now. And honestly, like, he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna beat Hangman. He's not. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that this match is going to prove that Kyle Fletcher, granted, he's not at that point where he's going to be AEW World Champion, but he's going to show that he is a future AEW World Champion. I'm gonna say it right now. Give it about 2 years. Don't be surprised if that world title ain't strapped on Kyle Fletcher in the next 2 years. I'm saying it right now. Um, but yeah, I got Hangman Page retaining the championship, and then Okada versus Konosuke Katetsuka versus either Maskra, Dora, or the Beast Mortis. I'm going down the list on Wikipedia here, but this is a three-way for the AEW United Championship. Um, honestly, they good give it to Konosuke Katetsuka. Honestly, and this match could be where Okada doesn't have to get pinned. He doesn't have to get submitted to lose the championship because Okada has been champion for a minute now. And, similar to Mercedes Moné, at some point you have to ask yourself who is going to be the one to beat the one. And I feel like this triple threat match can definitely be a way where Okada can lose the championship, but he doesn't have to get pinned. He doesn't have to get submitted. Basically, mainly pinned because Okada barely taps out. So yeah, All Out is going to be a very good show. We're going to put on a very dope show for the fans, everybody watching at home. So with that being said, that has been my official preview and predictions for AEW All Out, man. If you got any comments and who you think gonna win, who you think gonna lose, maybe some upsets, you can put in the comment section if you do, please, if you want to. But with that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.